My girlfriend and I wanted to go camping in the nearby forest because we had both never gone sleeping under the night sky in a tent. We bought the necessary provisions for our stay. We had decided to go on Friday at noon and leave on Sunday when we woke up, but our stay was cut short. We left as planned on Friday at noon in our family car. We dropped the car off near the area where we were going to spend the night. We set up the tents and prepared the cooking items. All that was left was to light up the campfire. I told my girlfriend I was going to get wood. She was supposed to stay at the tents but insisted on coming with me. Good thing she asked to come, because I don't know what could have happened to her. I didn't want to cut the wood that was right next to the campground, so we went further in. It was getting dark, but we had forgotten the lanterns in the tents. As we walked, I stepped on something very soft. I couldn't look to see what it was, because in a nearby bush we saw a tall man coming out, clutching a huge knife in his hand. We started running through the forest. We didn't know if he was following us. We got to the car and drove off. We left our expensive equipment behind, but it didn't matter then. About a week ago, we watched a documentary about a serial killer who was being interviewed before his execution. They asked him, "Was there a moment where they were going to catch you?" He said,
"Yes, while I was digging a hole in the woods to hide the body of a young girl. I heard people approaching. Even the man stepped on the girl's body. He didn't even notice."
Then my friend and I realized that we almost became his next victims. I was depressed. I had found out that my girlfriend of 5 years was cheating on me. I couldn't forgive her for it. She wanted us to get back together, but I couldn't look at her in the same way. I needed time alone. I decided to go live in a bungalow in the woods. I'm a fortunate man and could afford to buy. When I was young, I spent my childhood in my village, which didn't have many houses. I missed that feeling. I searched for a long time until I found a bungalow that was quite well made with 3 rooms. I bought it and moved in. The place was quite secluded but not far from the city. Everything about it was splendid. It even had security cameras out front and inside. The food I had consisted mainly of canned goods. As the days went by, I noticed that my food was dwindling. I used to think I would get up at night and eat it, but when I fell asleep I would forget. Well, sure, but the food kept disappearing. One night I had decided I was going to turn the camera towards the hallway so I could see myself leaving the room and going to the kitchen. I fell asleep. When I woke up, I decided to have breakfast. Again, there was less food. I opened the computer to see the records. Around 2 a.m., I noticed a tall figure walk into my room, but I was already inside. I came out of the bungalow and called the police. They responded to the alert in the quickest manner. I reported what had happened to one of the policemen. He told me to go inside. I went to my room to review the records again. The thing could be seen coming into my room, but nowhere on the recordings could I see it coming out. Then I heard a breathing, that heavy breathing coming from under my bed. It was splitting the silence in the room. I couldn't just get up and walk out. It was gonna catch me. I stood up on the bed and jumped towards the door. I called the police and they came in. After about a minute, the cops dragged the man out, and one of them told me that he was indeed under the bed with a knife in his hand. The man lived in this bungalow and had fed on my food. But why did he want to hurt me? After the incident, I sold the bungalow and lived in the city again. I was 16 when my family and I decided to go on holiday to the forest. We found the perfect place. It was a tourist area full of guest houses. The houses were not very close to each other. The drive there was about 3 hours as well. When we arrived, it was already night. We unloaded the luggage in the living room. The house had 2 floors, and I chose to sleep on the second one. I took my luggage out and decided to sort it out. I noticed there was a closet in my room and opened it. Man, inside stood a man clutching an axe. I started screaming and walked out of the room. I told my father what happened. He called my mother and we left the house. We went to the nearest inhabited house. The people there were kind enough to let us in. We called the police. It took them a while to come. After about an hour, we saw a patrol stop in front of the house, and a group of policemen came in. They took the men out of the house. One of the police officers explained that we were lucky because they found the corpses of a young couple in the house. The couple, just like us, had come on a camping holiday in the woods but came across a serial killer. He had been wanted for 2 months and lived in the house. I'm thankful we didn't suffer the same fate as theirs. If you have experienced similar paranormal activities, share them to our email or the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please like it and share it.